there's a powerful lesson that Tantra teaches us, and that is that relationships don't just happen. They are created. They're created consciously, with practice, with attention. And that's something that you've also really practiced. You not only talk about it, you really put that into practice. Is that great relationships, no matter what stage in your life, you put the work in. And for when it was done, it was done. But while you were in it, you were working at it, you were learning, you were growing.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how we can improve our relationships and how we can make them great.
Well, you both have to agree that it could be better. So certainly having the conversation with each other is a good start. I know I didn't know about working on relationships until I got into one where the man knew it as much, if not more, than I did, and had the suggestions and the practices that were tantric who taught me. And there were times when I really didn't want to open my eyes during sex. I didn't want to be connected. I wanted to be in my own fantasy world. And then I'd sometimes hear him say, "Open your eyes, honey, I'm here." And I'd kind of go, shit, I was doing fine over there with my eyes closed. So it's not always what both of you want to do, but I think having the agreement that we're going to at least talk about it every week or twice a month, have truth talk time about what there could be more of, or what is you'd like more of, or what you love about your relationship, so that the other person can hear you telling the truth.
Absolutely.
And being in full disclosure. And being intimate enough, whether you're out to dinner in candlelight or you're out on your backyard by the barbecue.
Absolutely.
And the kids are busy playing, you can really talk to each other.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of the times in relationships, we get frustrated and resentful towards our partner, and they might not even know why.
No, that's true.
And then we take it out in inappropriate places,
That's true.
Not being into sex because we're mad at them, but they have no idea we're even mad at them, right? And so taking a little moment, and it doesn't have to be long, you can just do 10 minutes over coffee and say, okay, how's everything? Business, work, finances, sex, do you need more of it? Are you getting the kind that you like? And just open those kind of conversations. And your partner might surprise you with the things that you would never come up with on your own, their perspective, right? Because in a relationship, there's two people, and we sometimes forget that because we live in our own body, we live in our own mind. We kind of tend to live in our own world. But opening up the conversation to include your partner and say, what do you think about all of these things? How are you doing? I know I have my frustrations. I know I have my, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. But how about turning the tables around? What is it from your perspective? How do you feel about things? And it's interesting to open up that conversation, get out of yourself a little bit, and consider your partner as a full, whole being, not just a half of this relationship, because it's not 50-50. We have this misconception that relationships are 50-50, right? It's really not. You're a whole person with your whole experience, and so is your partner. And sometimes looking into that world of theirs can be so revealing and so telling. And I feel like with Tantra, it does open up the connection, the conversation. And when you take even 10 minutes a week is enough to just give you an insight into what could be better, what could be different.
Well, I would say that your 20 years of successful relationship, you've just naturally had these practices in. You somehow knew them. You somehow knew to.
I learned it all. I learned them. Reading your memoir, reading your books. Every time I read a book, I'm like, how can I apply this into my life? And that's my intention with this series too. I feel like no moment is ever wasted. There is always a lesson in there. It can be something, it can be a subject that you're not even interested in, but you can learn something from that person, from their experiences, from their life. Right? So when I hear something that's interesting, I'm like, I'll try it. I'll apply it to my life and let's see what happens. Some stick, some don't, but
I know you to be that way. Yeah, that's great. But for some of our listeners, these are new ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not something that they've been doing for 20 years, and not something that it's even occurred to them. Because most of us are programmed to reach the levels of success that were handed down to us, whether it's having our own home or having our family, and having enough of success in those ways that we're supposed to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we really are appealing to are the parts of you that maybe haven't been invited to feel, I wish there was more of, or I wish I could talk about this or that, or whatever those fantasies might be of yours that you haven't felt free to talk about, or that your partner doesn't know how to make time and invite you. So to have that naturally in a relationship for a long time is really great. But a lot of people don't.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't.
And I want to stress, it did not come naturally.
I see.
Like when we met 20 years ago, we were different people. We were 21 years old. We were so young. We had no idea what we were doing, right? But we did kind of these things. We would watch a video. We would read a book. We would trial and error, just try different things and see what happens. Talk to each other. The one thing that we always come back to is turning to one another, instead of turning away from each other and figuring things out together. And it always comes back down to communication, to open, truthful communication.
That's the main thing I've heard from couples. There was an interview with a couple that had been together 69 years.
Wow.
And they were asked, what is the one thing that has kept you? And their answer was kindness in communication.
That's beautiful. And I feel that deeply. I think that is really a truth that is a fundamental truth for relationships.
Yeah, I do too. I think that it supersedes sex. It supersedes everything.
Yeah.
Because we are communicators and we need to be heard and we need to be seen.
Absolutely, yeah. So pause for a moment and ask yourself, where can I give my partner a little bit more kindness? Where can I communicate better in a more clear way where I'm expressing myself and not just blaming my partner? And those little things will just transform everything for you. It's never a huge thing that helps us make the biggest transformation. Sometimes it's the smallest little adjustment that creates the biggest shift. So just give it a try. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But what if it does?
What if it does?
If you'd like to learn how to communicate with your partner a little bit better, a little bit deeper, a little bit more effectively, we have a free gift for you in the show notes below. You can download our Small Phrases, Big Results in the show notes below and start communicating with your partner. Start opening up some of those sacred conversations that you want to be having.
I'm excited for you.